So I feel like we need to talk about the cellar. Let me give you a sneak peek inside. So obviously we had a flood and that's really not great. It was just something that we really could have done with not happening because
I just couldn't believe the fact that we have units.
And here is our larder pantry. I'm not gonna lie, my head is kind of at capacity. Hello everyone, how are we all? Welcome back to my channel and to another kitchen update video. This one has been filmed all across, well actually a week and a half. We've kind of blended the end of week 2 and the rest of week 3 into this video. So when you're watching this, if you're watching this on a Sunday, it's going to be around 9 days of footage, but I've picked the camera up when it was worth picking up and showed you the progress from essentially when I was away in Germany. So Zara's going to intro this video and then you're going to be bang up to date with how we're ending it on Friday, the end of week 3. And when I say the kitchen's taken shape, it is taken shape. There's been a lot of decisions this week, a lot of progress, a lot of electrical work, Carcasses are going in, countertop measurement. It's very exciting. I've even took my job that seriously and bought myself a project notepad. I did need a new one, this was from HomeSense, but it's already filled when I sit here with drawings and plans. It's been a journey, so I hope you enjoy this video, and without further ado, let's get into kitchen project week 3.
Hello, I don't know if I have to intro this because I'm not sure if Luke has. This is now week 2 of the renovation. Luke is currently in Germany and has asked if I can film whilst he's away. Obviously, I'm sure Luke's mentioned, we don't film when the builders are here. Like, obviously, I don't think they'd care, but it is a little bit awkward. Like, they're just getting on. So yeah, a lot of progress has been made today. I'll show you. The kitchen got delivered. I don't think I knew how busy kitchen delivery day would be. We were the first slot of the day, which is a dream. And I cannot get over just how punctual everybody was. Like, excuse a very panty dog. Right, do you want to sit down? What the hell? Yeah, 8 AM and we had the builders here. We had the magnet delivery team here. It was a lot, and I think by 8:30, kitchen was in. We only had one damage, and that was to a piece of like the coving cornicing. So it's not bad going, really. We are now officially, I say we, me and Maggie, are now officially living upstairs because there is no room anywhere. Okay, so the lighting situation is minimal because there's just boxes everywhere, but this is what we call the living room. Yeah, so we have a shed and then a kitchen. So yeah. These units, I didn't realise they came in just how tall kitchen units are. That sounds so silly, but obviously you see them in a kitchen, but it's not until they're in like a normal space. They're huge. We've had our oven delivered. I mean, I should have picked up this camera yesterday, but yeah, oven got delivered yesterday. There is just stuff everywhere. Obviously, all of the building stuff is here, guys. So organised and everything's protected. It's genuinely unreal. In terms of like an update where we are, these doors, this door and the door that's not there are getting changed. So we've got them on order and they're getting collected tomorrow. Step in here, you'll see at the back, Maggie, the project manager, is still on site, aren't you? The ducting for the extractor fan has also been done, so that's coming out. Obviously will be boxed in properly. We still have a little makeshift doors at the back. It's so crazy now, like, I don't know, it just feels really real. So obviously these are just the carcasses, and then the colour that we've gone for will be put on the end panels. And obviously on the doors we've gone with like a wooden finish. Inside, the guys said they haven't actually seen like a wooden finished like kitchen in a while. So I don't know, maybe we've gone back in time, or we're ahead of the times. Probably gonna say we've gone back in time. So yeah, we've got all of the units here. I think this one and this one is our larder. That's the only unit that didn't come pre-assembled, so the guys will be making those for us. It's like, it's all systems go. We still have our fridge, genuinely, thank the heavens above. So this is the extractor hood situation. So we've had a little bit of, not an issue, but like a slight mishap with this. I'm sure Luke mentioned we've kind of, there's been some concerns with the measurements, let's say. So we've had to reconfigure all of like where the units will go from here. So that was today's task. But yeah, we've got the oven. I think the oven's going in tomorrow. We've got the gas pipe ready to go. And obviously this will all be tiled. We thought that we could get the extractor hood slightly higher, but just because of the spec of the extractor fan, etc., that is the height it has to go. But if anything, I think it's going to make the tile and like the pattern we've gone for pop a little bit more. For reference, I'm going to go and stand beside it. I'm not sure if this is going to help at all, but it is like, actually that's not low, I can get in it. Oh my gosh, that is actually a gas pipe. Yeah, anyway, I don't think it's that low. I think it's, we were saying, I think where it's like encased here, it makes it feel a bit smaller. Jesus, I feel like a real vlogger. The plan for tomorrow is the rest of these are going to be built, I think. I'm not really sure. They're going to have the doors put on. Again, I could be getting this very wrong, but the plan is tomorrow, these are going to go in to like situ, so I guess we can see for space. And I think the thing is we can measure it and measure it and measure it, but obviously it's not until things are in that we can be absolutely certain that we have everything, because we've had to order a couple of extra doors here and there from Magnet. So I think tomorrow, fingers crossed, we can just do like a final, we can be complete, let's say. So yeah, that'll be in situ tomorrow, so that's really good because tomorrow's Friday, so we can just end the week with a bit more organisation. And then Monday, we have all of our appliances arriving. I don't really think there's anything else to update, to be honest, but by the sounds of it, the kitchen's gonna go in, and then all of the glasswork and doors comes after. I don't know if that was the plan or if it's the plan because of lead times, but the guys are honestly, I know we keep saying it, they are unreal. Like, yeah, I have worked with so many contractors in my previous job. Some good, some not so good, some punctual, some not so punctual. I cannot stress, like, everything, the protection, just you don't have to say anything. They're so on time, they just think of everything. They're literally, magicians is the only word for it. So yeah, working absolute wonders. So yeah, every day we're getting a little bit closer. So hopefully tomorrow I'll have a nicer update before Luke gets back. So it's the end of week 2. Is it week 2? It's the end of week 2. Luke gets back tonight, so I'm not really sure if he wants me to film this update or if he's doing it, but here we go. So the kitchen, it's so exciting. I feel like I kept coming down today because I just couldn't believe the fact that we have units, even though they don't have doors on, they're now like somewhat in place. Maggie is so excited every day when she comes down. Maggie, what's this kitchen? How exciting is this? Do you like it? I think she just gets really confused as to why she can't go outside. Anyway, yeah, we have the end units in now. So these units will house the fridge and the freezer. Yeah, I think it's not until they're in and the height that you can really see like extra space we now have. Got some drawers here. We had to go to a different kitchen company, not Magnet, to get some 500 units as they were needed for like the chimney breast wall here. So they're slightly out, but the guys are going to fix those, and we've got some more doors coming. Now we've put units either side of where the oven's going to go. I feel like it just really shapes that whole area, and you can just visualize it coming to life. We've been able to open up our oven. I'm sure Luke will explain, but the oven was from Appliances Direct, which basically means that it's like a second-hand oven or ex-display, it depends, but they have the smallest little things with them. Like, for example, this one just has like a dink on the back, but obviously you're gonna put it in situ, so no one's gonna see the dink at the back. The people that actually gave us this idea were my auntie and uncle, because they did the same with their Smeg oven when they did their kitchen. So it's tried and tested and it works. So yeah, the guys have left now. They're back on Monday, and yeah, they said I think it's mid next week, around Wednesday still, the kitchen should be in and ready. So we had some more electric work done today. So obviously in this section here we're going to be putting a radiator. But on top of the radiator, we planned to put like a little bench or something. So we wanted to have a plug for like a lamp. So they've been able to put that in. That's exciting because this plug will then be redundant. More plaster work's been done. This has all been plastered over now. I think there was more plaster work all along the back. Yeah, windows and doors next week. Maggie, you will be able to get out there eventually. It was actually really sweet this morning because every day we've been doing the work, obviously it's been like mucky on the floor, or there's like, as in like offcuts of walls and just bits and bobs, and not safe for Mags to come in. But I think yesterday and today were the first days that it was like okay for her to come through. So the guys like encouraged her in. I went to the shop and she was playing with them in the garden. When I came back, she was so out of breath, and one of the builders said he'd been playing ball with her in the garden for 20 minutes. So she fully has the builders around her paw now. So yeah, she's had the best day ever. Now she can get involved. But I think it's the end of the day. When they leave, she gets so confused. Like, she just cries for one, and then she runs to the back door because I think she gets, well, what will be the door, because I think she gets a little bit confused. Like, why can I go out when they're here, and then when they leave, the fun stops?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So today is Sunday. It is the last day of week 2 of the project of the kitchen. I feel like we've got a fair bit to catch up on because so much has happened. And then this morning, something really bad has happened, and I just don't really know where to start. So firstly, thank you all so much for your feedback, your comments, your love, your support on all of the videos so far. It's a real dream to be able to do this. And I really appreciate all of your comments. They're very, very useful and handy with tips and recommendations. So thank you first for that. Secondly, should we talk about the cellar? I feel like I owe everyone sorry, if this camera's wobbling, I will come on to why it's wobbling in a second. Let me just do that. So I feel like we need to talk about the cellar. I'm not gonna lie, my head is kind of at capacity. I feel a bit frazzled. So I'm gonna make a very long story very short. Basically, when we had the chimney breast ripped out, the builders were like, oh, just to let you know, we found something. It's like essentially what was behind the shelves. I'm gonna leave some photos and videos on screen. So we were like, okay, that's really interesting. What do you think it could be? And they'd said it potentially might have been a cellar at one point, and it's been boarded up and blocked. But the access has essentially been bricked up. So we just didn't know if it was going to be a cellar or not. So we went through our old floor plans and our deeds, and there was no record of a cellar at all. However, the reason that we thought it potentially might have been was because our neighbour, when we first moved in, said that some houses had cellars on the street. Now, on the original deeds of the property, which dates way back to early 1900s, there's nothing, there's no mention of a cellar. But it was really strange that on this chimney breast wall there was what looked like a doorway, but it wouldn't have led anywhere as such. It probably, if anything, would have been under the stairs. So we don't think it would have been a cellar, but potentially somewhere that would have been a chilled room, perhaps for meats and just, yeah, like a chiller box essentially. But again, that maybe wouldn't have made sense being next to a chimney breast for a fire. So yeah, basically I'd forgot to include that footage in this video because I'd filmed earlier for Instagram and mentioned it in that, and I think in my head I'd already mentioned it, and then I didn't include it in the week's vlogs because when you're watching this you're kind of like a week behind because I have to film for the week, then edit it, then schedule it. So I wasn't doing a clickbait title, I'm so sorry, and I only realised because I was in Germany for work, logged into my YouTube, went to the comments and thought, oh my goodness, what have I done? Because I think everyone at home, you guys thought I'd like done like a clickbait title or kind of like withheld the cellar to just get people to watch the video. I would never do that. That's not my thing. Hopefully you know me well enough to know that that's not what I do. I just wanted to reference something that I thought was in the video, but it turns out I'd completely left it out the video. So I changed the title, I've pinned a comment, so sorry about that. But there we are, that's your cellar update. We don't have one, or maybe we did, but we're just not getting into digging subterranean levels, just no. So, that's that. I think Zara has filmed some footage of the updates that were happening while I was away in Germany. So I was in Berlin for work, and it was only 2 days, but so much has happened in 2 days. So I kind of feel like she's covered the grounds mostly. However, a pretty big thing has happened this morning that we really could have done without happening. Basically, Zara got up this morning to go for a run. I literally was just waking up and she sent me a message and said, please come downstairs, we've had a leak. Now you can imagine the fear. I literally threw my clothes on, ran downstairs, and well, we've had a leak. Let me show you. So basically, we have had to move everything that was in the kitchen out or away from this point. So as I showed you guys before, they removed the window, obviously to get a size and measuring from the opening. All of the glazing and glass is going to be coming this week. But let me just give you an idea of how much rain we've actually had. So last night we had probably one of the worst like storms I've seen in a while. That bucket was empty and now that is full. So obviously, as you can see, we've got no glass here. So I think the rain was just literally coming straight in and trickling down, and it just flooded this entire kitchen. So everything, don't worry, all of this is empty. When I say we had the entire kitchen contents, the extractor fan, everything, all of the electrics were on the ground, and the water was like that thick. So we just panic stations. We immediately were just like, right, shoes on, electrics off, go. We need to get everything out immediately. So for the past like 2 hours, we've been moving all of their tools, all of their electrical goods. Like you can see how bad it is. Like this is, yeah. This is currently what our house looks like. Yeah, all of the tools. We just had to literally unpack everything, all of the cardboard, dry it all, get it all stood, and it hasn't warped, it's all good. We just had to peel off all of the labels and stick them on the doors and the end panels to make sure that it all like correlated. Then, as we were stacking up the end panels against this unit then toppled over and then ripped down the shelf over here. Not the end of the world, we can absolutely fix that, and this room is going to need touching up with paint anyway, so it's so fine. It was just something that we really could have done with not happening, because the floor was supposed to be laid, and obviously when you screed a floor it needs to cure, and naturally it's now wet again. So I think that's going to give us a setback. So we just went up to the loft and got the dehumidifier out. So I'm going to plug that in. We had to put the cardboard down to absorb the rainwater, and we just use a towel to like kind of keep it contained. Yeah, it's just not great. So like the extractor fan, we've had to take that out. I've checked it, it's all fine. It's fully encased in plastic, so thankfully plastic's waterproof. I haven't actually watched the footage back of what Zara has filmed yet, but the progress is absolutely incredible. Like the guys are doing such a good job. And we listened about the changing of this configuration over here. So obviously on the original plan I showed you guys, we had a fridge, freezer, and then the 1000mm drawer pull out in the middle. I have like a coffee station, but we listened and we've moved that over. So it's now kind of like the flow is just so much better. We've had units, actually had to purchase those from Howden's, the kitchens from Magnet. I will come on to discuss the process with the kitchen design and how we've had to kind of pivot a lot. I will talk about that in a whole separate video, and how if you are planning a kitchen renovation, things to look out for and things to consider, maybe ways you guys can save money too. And Howden's have been brilliant, they've been absolutely spot on, and we managed to get a unit that could fit that space perfectly. So that's a cut down unit, half depth, that is on the chimney breast. That's going to be additional storage for spices, oils, sauces, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's that. Other than that, I think we're pretty much as we were when I left. Obviously plasterboarding and electrics are all pretty much done. I think that's the majority of it. So yeah, I'm gonna plug this dehumidifier in and just hope that the rain just stops until the guys arrive tomorrow and kind of, you know, can give us some kind of like idea about what is best to do right now and how long we're going to be now pushed back, because ideally the wood floor was going to go down, if not tomorrow, maybe the day after. And I don't think that's going to happen now. But it's fine, we were ahead of schedule. It's just not great because we now have no room in the living room, second library room, and we have all of our appliances arriving tomorrow. So we've got a tall fridge, tall freezer, dishwasher, washing machine, and a tumble dryer. Don't ask me where they're gonna go, because I genuinely have no answer. Yeah, non-ideal Sunday, but that's okay. We're fine. Other than that, I don't really think we could have done anything else to kind of prevent what's happening. But hopefully now, dehumidifier will be plugged in and we'll be good to go. Okay, so it is Tuesday and it's the second day of week 3, and well, we've got some good news and some, oh my god, you can see behind me, and some news that kind of weren't expecting, but it's not bad news, it's just gonna cost a little bit more money, which is never good, but I'm gonna focus on the good news first. Are you ready to see the kitchen? Oh my goodness. So sorry about the shock and lighting. We've essentially got these plug-in like LED lights down here just because it's a really gloomy day today. It's actually 16 degrees, which is just not the one. It just feels really cold and miserable and rainy, but the builders have just left. And here is our larder pantry, which is just beyond exciting. Look how tidy they are, by the way. I just said to Zara, like, look, when they leave for the day, like, this is just, oh, best builders ever. Yeah, this is the double larder pantry. It's 1,000 mil, so it's a full pantry with, obviously, all of these are going to have doors and they're going to have drawer inserts down there as well. Pull-outs. I think another shelf is going to go in there, but I'm not entirely sure how many. I think maybe just one more. We'll see. And then we've got another unit here. So this is a tall end unit, which is going to have shelves in it, and they've routed out a hole at the back for the cable to go in. So this is going to conceal a microwave, and then we have a gap here which is actually going to be for some cookbook storage. We're just going to get that built very soon, so that's exciting. They have made the 2 units. These were DIY units to go over the pillars on either side. So yeah, they had to cut them down and kind of like glue them together to make them fit, but they've worked their magic. So we actually sourced these units from Howdens, and these units are magnets. So yeah, not exactly fantastic news, but obviously they've made them work. The color difference is obviously visible, but once the doors are on, you'll never be able to tell. The cooker has been put into place. It just needs the gas attaching. The electric is on, which is just mega. Like, honestly, so happy and chuffed with this. Let me give you a sneak peek inside. Honestly, I can't wait to just give it a good old clean. Oh, how exciting. So it's a double oven. The drawers are all now locked into position, which is super exciting. And then this is obviously for the fridge and freezer. And then over on this side, the boiler unit has been cut out and is in place. So we're actually gonna have some usable storage underneath here. This is the pull-out bin unit. So we're having integrated recycling bins and general waste bin. So that's great. This little gap here is gonna have another small pull-out and some more cookbook storage. Then we're gonna have the washer, dryer, or dryer washer, I'm not sure which way they're gonna go around, but we changed those on the original plan. So the bin storage could actually be here. Now, I know that might be quite strange because you'd probably want your bin next to your sink, wouldn't you? To scrape the bin and then sink and then dishwasher, but because the way our pipes are configured in this house, we've ended up having to put the bin storage there. So it's fine. It's honestly absolutely no worries. And if anything, it just means that I can chop here and scrape it straight into the bin. So it's absolutely fine. So yeah, all good. And then end is going to be dishwasher here. Hello, Magatha. How are you? The thing that we weren't anticipating, and it's been a little bit, let me just extend, so I feel like my arm's actually going to fall off. Let me just pop you down. Oh, Mags, I know, okay. I know. When it stops raining, we'll take you out, I promise. So obviously we had a flood, and that's really not great. The builder's obviously taking it really seriously because they're like, look, that's probably going to happen again. And if it happens again, then you're going to have water coming through the doors at the back of your house because our garden's slightly higher than the ground. The water's just going to flood in and it'll end up just ruining the doors. So what they've suggested is that we need to have drainage put in, essentially thin, narrow drains that run and wrap around our home. But obviously to install those drains, they need to lift up the outside stones. Now, if they can take the stones up in one piece, amazing. But if they can't and they crack and they smash, then we kind of have to replace them. So it's looking like we're going to replace the stones outside, the paving stones. I was never a massive fan of them, to be fair. So it's an expense that we hadn't factored in, and probably something that we maybe would have considered doing in the future, maybe next summer. Didn't anticipate having to do it now, but obviously if it means that our house is going to be completely watertight, we're going to have drainage that should have been dug a long time ago, but obviously people cutting corners, Maggie. is what it is, because the drain out there, it's literally, imagine having a flat ground and the drain, there's just nothing for the water to go in, so it just sits, which is obviously really not good, obviously, for the foundations of your house, and given how much it rains in London. But yeah, a really good positive day. I mean, the fact that the lard is in is just wild. I can't believe it. I'm gonna have a pantry. It's a real like pinch me moment, because I remember not so long ago, I had my little pantry on wheels in my bedroom, and I used to have to drag it out my bedroom into the kitchen and then wheel it back in for food storage and cooking videos. And now here we are, like 3 years later, in our kitchen in our own home. It doesn't quite feel real. It doesn't feel like our house. It's like the biggest room in the house, and it just doesn't feel real yet, which is nuts. But all very exciting, very positive. So I will check in with you guys when we have some more updates. Okay, so it's Thursday today, so it's the 4th day of the 3rd week of kitchen renovations, and this fully resembles a kitchen now, which is just incredible. Oh, even the sun's coming out. The guys worked really tirelessly yesterday, because this morning we've just had Kent Stone come over to measure up and template for our stone countertops. So we're going for a quartz countertop, and the way a template works is you kind of work backwards. So you have to get the template of the units all in position, and then you can finalize the cut on site. So obviously it's really important when you're cutting stone that you get it as accurate as possible. So the guys worked tirelessly yesterday to get all of the base units in position so that the countertop guys could come this morning bright and early, measure up. Honestly, every trade we've used so far, our builders, the stone people, all just brilliant. The plumbers, the electricians, have all been really spot on, really punctual, really professional. They just know what they're doing, and it makes a massive difference to the project. So let me show you where we're at with the kitchen, because it's so taking shape. I didn't get a glimpse of the colour. Here we are, folks. Oh my goodness, this is absolutely incredible. I don't want to film too much, because obviously I kind of want to save bits for the reveal, but the oven's in place. Obviously it's got the burners and the hobs and bits and bobs, the grills to go on top. But yeah, this is our double butler pantry, and then we've got an additional unit on the side as well. They've built all of the drawers either side of the oven. These are going to be our half-depth spice and oil kind of cupboards. Big long run of units is in for the drawers. We actually have fully functional drawers now, which is just amazing. Obviously this is housing our fridge freezer. The boiler cupboard is now fully built in. We've got the wine rack and pull-out storage here, and then obviously the bins, and then where these gaps currently are where the appliances are going to go, and they are hopefully getting fitted by the end of this week, so we'll be able to have a washing machine, which is just amazing, and hopefully, fingers crossed, a dishwasher very soon, although not a priority. Washing machine definitely is the priority. We've just unboxed our sink as well, which is really, really exciting. I'm gonna give you a quick glimpse on the side. So this is it, it's a lovely gunmetal sink. It's just stunning, and I think it's gonna look really, really nice. I've also had the handles and the sink tap arrive. They've come from Plank Hardware, so I'm just gonna show you those right now. And I'm honestly obsessed. Just for clarity, I'm actually gonna be working with Plank on some content. I've loved their hardware and designs for so many years. I've had them saved on Pinterest vision boards for as long as I can remember. So it's a real privilege to be able to work with a British brand that you just really love, and I just think their designs are amazing. So yeah, for full transparency, I'm working with Plank on the handles, and they're stunning. So let me show you them and the tap, because it feels like a dream come true. So this is the Portman Swan neck tap in antique brass, and it comes obviously with the fixtures, and then this is the tap, so it comes in a little dust bag for protection. This is the most beautiful tap ever. Look at that brass detailing. So that's picking it up on camera. So obviously it's going to have the handle attached here, so you can obviously adjust the temperature between hot and cold, and then we went for the swan neck with the brass attachment on the end that you can twist to control how much water flow you want to come through the tap, whether you want it to be a jet or just a running stream. I just think that looks absolutely stunning. So that's the tap. So we actually went for 3 different types of handles, but they're all in the same finish. They're all in antique brass, and these are the Catleugh antique brass handles. So they all come wrapped and ready to go. But look how gorgeous that is. I feel like my camera can't even pick up that detail. So they've got this really lovely texture on the T-bar, and then obviously the two attachments. So those are the longer, larger pull handles. So we're going to have those on all of the tall cabinets. And then we went for slightly smaller versions of the Catleugh handle, the T-bar. So these are going to be on all of the cupboards, the lower base unit cupboards, so slightly shorter in design, but very, very lovely. And then these are the antique brass door knobs that we've got on the drawers. So these are going to sit on as like a pull out here. I know it's quite difficult to show you, but yeah, I feel like they're quite like slim in design, but obviously they've got the same kind of continuous texture on the knob that is on the tap and also on the T-bars as well. So yeah, that is everything from Plank, and I'm really excited to get them installed. I feel like it's going to really like finish off the kitchen cupboards and give them a lovely like premium feel. It's quite tricky to show you on camera, but that's the kind of vibe that we're going for. So they're going to go across both door panels, because these are individual door panels. Obviously the builders need to attach them up behind, but then that'll strengthen the doors even more for the finished product. But I just think they look so smart. They're quite tricky to show you because the cabinets are dark, but when they're on, I think they're going to look absolutely wonderful. And I'm going to show you the wall lights and the outdoor lights because they just arrived and they are so, so nice. So these are the indoor brass wall lights. So we've ordered 3 of these. They're quite small and quite slimline, but we didn't want something too kind of like crazy and out there because it's going to go above a shelf and there's going to be task lighting underneath the shelf inbuilt, but then above we thought these would be really, really nice. Let me spin you around and show you where they're going to go. Okay, so there's going to be 3 of these on the wall. Now, we were slightly concerned that they're going to be a bit too small, and I feel like they're going to be absolutely fine because the shelf's going to be here and there's going to be artwork and stuff above it. We kind of we didn't want something too fussy because obviously all of the attention is going to be on the shelf with beautiful crockery. So we probably could have gone slightly bigger, but I honestly think they're absolutely perfect. I think 3 of them is just a really nice touch. So yeah, really, really happy with those. And they were a very reasonable price compared to some wall lights online. We did see some ones on John Lewis from, I think they were from Laura actually, but they were £50 a light. And these antique brass ones came in at around 23. So really good price, and yeah, very happy with them indeed. Okay, and these are the outdoor wall lights. So we're going to have 2 of these either side of the glass doors. They've got like a, I think, very naval meridian kind of vibe, and I think they're really nice. Obviously these you traditionally see on like ships and things like that, but see, I just think they're really, really nice. So they were again quite more reasonable than other lights that we found online. I think they've just got such a nice effect. So yeah, 2 of those, one either side of the doors outside. We've also had all of the plug sockets done today. So these are the plug sockets we've got USBs on this, so USB traditional, USB-C. So we opted for one in the middle, and then 2 over here, and then 2 over here. And on the coffee station over here, we've got traditional one here, and then we've got a USB plug socket there as well, just in case we want to charge iPads or phones or anything like that, while this station is obviously just kept for coffee. But yeah, oh, and also spotlights have been installed today, so we've got the spotlights all wired up, ready to go, and all of the plug sockets for appliances have been put in position. Obviously things like electrics do tend to take a while, and they're not the most exciting of things, but when they're all in, it's gonna look pretty special, I think. So a very good day for the electrical side of things. Okay, so it's Friday today and it is the end of week 3. We have all of our appliances in, all of our doors on bar 1, and more importantly and excitingly, the handles are on as well. I feel like this is just like the best way to end a week, just to see everything in position. Next week is going to be huge because we've got the glass, the windows and the doors all arriving. So a bit of a panic moment next week, but for now we can enjoy the calm before the storm. So here we are. I was kind of struggling to show you the handles on the cabinet doors, but look how fantastic they look. They've got such a good weight to them. Honestly, Plank are superb. Quality is amazing. So we went for the larger Catleugh handles, and then we went for the slightly smaller Catleugh handles on the cupboard pullouts here. So these are the slightly smaller ones, all soft close. And then obviously we went for the Catleugh knobs for the drawer pullouts too. And really nice and substantial. Just really small and dainty, nothing too fussy. So yeah, everything is in. Cupboards are in. We've got the fridge freezers in. So this is the fridge. So here we are, we're going for a full size fridge. Obviously this will be drilled to the door eventually, so the whole thing opens at once. But yeah, full size fridge, and then we've got the freezer here, full size freezer too. Maggie's the project manager, so she's got to check everything out. Ready to be fully screwed in. We went for this layout rather than opening it in the middle, just because naturally you'd want the fridge closest to you when you're cooking, and if you're going to be stood here prepping, you obviously want to be able to just open it into what you can see. It was the one thing we didn't like in the old kitchen design. The fridge opened outwards, which was perfect for having this as a space, but obviously we want them opening as far away from you. And then yeah, on this side, this is the bin unit. We just need 2 little screws for the door, which I'm going to go grab from Magnet now, but other than that, we're good to go. We've got the washing machine, we've got the tumble dryer here, both integrated, and then the dishwasher is in place. So I think that's going to be the end of this week's vlog. It's quite a long one, so if you stuck to the end, thank you. I'm very, very excited about the progress, and I genuinely feel that it's just going to be such a special kitchen when it's done. But thank you so much for watching. Lots of love to you all, and I'll catch you all next week for more updates. Take care. Bye for now.